Hi guys, and welcome to another flour review. Today we're going to be looking at the Molino Dallagiovanna flour, and we're going to be doing it over set hydrations of 60, 65 and 70% hydration over a 3-day period. So let's get to it. Okay, so here's the Molino Dallagiovanna packet, as you can see, and here is the reverse with all the stats and weights and measures and everything else on there. So now we're going to add the flour in, so in it goes to the salt. It's a lovely fine flour this. So I'm mixing it round. You'll need to give it a bit longer than what's on the video obviously. And now we're going to put the water in and to the yeast. So lukewarm water, doesn't need to be nothing too hot. And a little olive oil. Give it a stir around, make sure that the yeast's working and stuff. Now I've split this into bowls, so we're going to start off with a 70% here now. And just going to gradually add the flour in. So we're only making small batches here. In it goes. And they did accept the water quite quickly. Put it onto the deck. Get all the excess out. And start to have a bit of a knead. Well, it's very, very sticky, so you'll need to make sure you got oil or plenty of flour on your hands to stop it sticking. But as you can see, very, very stretchy. Look at that. Whee! Let's roll it round now. Make it into a bit of a ball. Bit of flour in the takeaway box. And pop that in. And just for science, we'll mark it with the 70% on the lid. There you go. And pop that on. Right, okay, we'll move on now to the 65%. Again, all the stats and everything on the bottom of your screen. Pour that in to the water, give it a mix round, makes a bit of a batter, and then it's ready for the next amount of flour. And stir that around. Give that a good stir. Place it onto a floured board. And again, give it a bit of a knead. There's a little bit of difference between this and the 70%, but not too much. Not too much. It was still fairly tacky and stretchy as started to knead it. So make that into a bit of a ball, and again we're going to be using the takeaway boxes here. So a little bit of flour in the takeaway box. Tap out the excess. Rub a little on the top. And again, just to make sure that we've got the right things, we'll put 65% on the lid. Seal it up, and it's ready to go, 65%. So now the 60%, so much drier. In with the flour. And as there's not much water with this one, not as much, it pretty much took it in 2 doses. So give it a knead. Certainly was a lot more stiffer, this one. You could tell not as much water in there, so it wasn't as tacky. But a lot easier to handle. So maybe for the first timer, 60% is quite good to use. And again, into the takeaway box, and just so we don't get it mixed up, we will tap on the top 60%. There we go. So here they are, all lined up, ready to go. So I left these out for about an hour or so in room temperature, then placing them into the fridge for approximately about 66 hours. So taking them out just because it was easy to photograph, but here they go. That's the following morning. That's on Thursday night. And on to Friday morning. And there's a bit of a change you can see as it's going along, and that's Friday night. 70% stuff is certainly getting more air bubbles in. Saturday morning, and I left it out at this point, ready to come up to room temperature for ball time. So we'll start off with a 60% here, and just put a little bit of flour in so it cuts easier onto the scales, and the 60% balled up really nicely. As you can see, really nice. So we don't get it mixed up, back into the flour takeaway box, mark it with 60%, and we'll put the other dough ball in as well. 65% then. Again, flour onto your hands, and it was a little bit more sticky, but it came out easy enough. So a little bit easier to handle, a little bit more stretchy, but got a lot more water in there. So balling up wise, again, just making sure you got plenty of flour on your hands to make the dough balls. And it made 2 lovely dough balls, there you go. And again, we'll pop them into the boxes. Just a little bit of flour. Pop that on the top. That's a 65% one, and there's a second one going into its own box as well. Pop that underneath. Finally, it's 70% then. So here it goes. And again, this took a little bit of teasing out, but again, if you've got floured hands, it's a lot easier. Just scooping it up, making it into a bit of a, there you go, showing you there. So, make it into a bit of a sausage, cut it in half. It's pretty good guessing that. And again, this one, if you put plenty of flour on your hands, the dough doesn't stick as much, half as much to your hands as if you just use nothing. You can also use oil as well. There we go, 2 dough balls. Pop it into a floured takeaway box again. And into the second one. And away we go. So, there we go. So, yep, left these out for about 4 hours. Right, here's the main event, pizza time then. So let's try this 60%. Came out easy enough. A little bit of flour. And let's start to roll that pizza base out. And the 60% was quite quick to roll out. Put a bit of homemade sauce on. And some cheeses. And today we're going with a bit of a pepperoni as well, and ham for this one. So put some ham on. And the pepperoni next. And onto the peel. So for all the pizzas, the Roccbox was about 400 degrees, as you can see on the dial. And there's a finished version of the 60% in its box. So let's try the 65% then. So on it goes. This was quite easy to handle as well. And we stretched it out quite nicely. Bit of sauce on. And again, we're going to go in with the pepperoni on this one. And we're going to put some dried tomatoes, olives and jalapenos as well. So I'm going to load a few more toppings on. There we go, onto the peel, into the oven. And that's the finished article, and just look at that crust there. Absolutely gorgeous it was. It was a lovely pizza, that. Nice and light, nice light crust. So onto the 70%. And this took a little bit more teasing out, I've got to be honest with you. And it did stick to the board, so plenty of flour on your board really does help in the initial instance. So we've rolled that out. Nicely done. Put a bit of the sauce on. And again, you've got to be careful of the back of the spoon sticking to the pizza base because you've got a higher hydration now. So again, same sort of toppings as last time. So pepperoni, some dried tomatoes, and there we go. Onto the peel. Now it does stick a bit more, so you've got to dress it on the peel. Into the oven, out of the oven, and again, look at this. Really, really like nice, lots of spongy, springy texture. Really, really nice. Now it's over to a little bit of a hack. I'm sure this next part has happened to us all at some point. The dreaded pizza sticking to the peel and then getting caught in the bottom of the oven. Get off this peel now. And then when it's in the oven and it comes out, the pizza looks like this. And the oven floor looks like this, which is very, very annoying. Well, we've all been there, let's admit it. So here's a little hack for the beginner. Try a bit of greaseproof paper. So this is 70% hydration dough, so really high hydration. So if you feel that it's not going right and sticking everywhere, just pop it on there and it will stick to the greaseproof paper and make it easier to shape as well. So there you go, just pushing it out with my hands. Trim off a bit of excess. Admittedly on this video I could have trimmed off quite a bit more, but I didn't, so put some toppings on. And put some cheese on and what have you. And it's the last pizza day, so I'll put bits of everything on. Now, watch this. How easy is this? Oh, there it goes. No sticking to the peel, into the Roccbox. Now it does smoke a little bit, but it doesn't burn it too much. And after a little bit, you'll be able to then take off the greaseproof paper, there you go. And then take the pizza out as normal. And look at that, it's a beautiful, beautiful pizza. Right, so there you have it, guys. We had the 60%, the 65% and the 70% hydration. If you're wanting something that's nice, light and fluffy, the more hydration you get, the more effect that you get. So what I would say is it's a fantastic flour, is the Molino Dallagiovanna. So yep, give it a go. It's quite on the pricey side, but I suppose sometimes you only get what you pay for. Okay guys, that's about it from us. If you like what you see though, please subscribe and we'll see you again very, very soon. Bye for now.